first pick.
Yeah, into the draft. But it was like you were saying,
Radiant team
previous tournaments, it was kind of easy to see top 3 at the very least and say this team's the definite favourite, this is going to come second.
Team
now, our scene has progressed a lot in the past year and a half, 2 years. We've got teams coming out of nowhere, we've got people realising, you know, we can make a team together, we're good mates, we get along in the game, we can start drafting, playing. Team matchmaking has really been a huge thing for UK scene. Playing TMM, getting that practice in when you don't really want to scrim against such a small, tight community, because then everyone knows your strats, everyone knows what you're going to run, everyone gets used to everyone else. So team matchmaking really has brought us out of our shell, I think.
Also, I think, you know what, I think it's important for teams to just play, rather than have all these kind of grudge in-houses and trash talking and stuff, because it is a small community and you do get people taking the mickey out of each other. I think they just need to play, focus on the Dota rather than all the guff that seems to go on around it.
First pick Abaddon.
Dire team pick.
Interesting.
We have seen Dwayne the John Roxon play Abaddon quite a lot, and it is pretty damn good when you've got, you know, people like Rhyme and Bisa who are very good at carrying the team, keep them alive in these team fights so they can really show off their skill.
Yeah, well, we saw in the last game, we saw if you get a Dazzle, which I thought, I mean, I don't really like Dazzle. I don't like having a Dazzle on my team, but a good Dazzle player will turn the fight around. And I heard a lot of people saying Dazzle MVP, like in that last game, no doubt about it.
With that last game, I don't think I used the word prioritise quite as much in my entire life before then. They
have to kill the Dazzle, prioritise the Dazzle. But
well, not just that, but Dazzle prioritising targets. He wants to heal and grave, and everyone prioritising targets and farm. It was just really nice to see.
Yep.
Very deliberate play.
Very good. Abaddon and Crystal Maiden.
10 seconds remaining.
Against Nyx Assassin. We saw Dread's Nyx Assassin, I think, yesterday was pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a lot of 2 and 3 man impales.
Reserve time.
He got a good early blink dagger on him and turned the game around.
And then his Hex as well. When he jumped on that Zeus, Hex, Impale, that just turned everything around. Infused had no idea what hit them.
Indeed. And it was easy for them to then pick off Infused. Mainly, it was Zeus dying 3 times, I think. So, and they're going to go for a Lifestealer pickup here.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, it's an interesting pick there. Nyx and Lifestealer not really 2 heroes you see commonly with each other. Especially with Dread being the player on that Nyx most likely, unless they do switch things up.
Well, would they put Gronas on the Lifestealer, you think? Or?
Well, Gronas is their carry player, but we do see it where they have Dread, Antab, and Khan on that aggressive tri-lane. So Antab switches into that aggressive tri-lane carry, and then the 2 supports start roaming. Then they leave Gronos like they used to do with Inferno. They keep him on that safe lane where he can farm with a hero like Lifestealer, Gyrocopter, Weaver, and have him as a carry that solos 1v1 against the offlane.
5 seconds remaining.
So it might be they're looking towards that, because there isn't a great amount of synergy between Lifestealer and Nyx. Both
apart from you can do the invisible infest.
Yeah, true.
Stun into open wounds and all that. It's better than nothing. I think anytime you've got invis, you've got an infest bomb. That's something.
Yeah.
That would be a dead maiden, hands down, pretty much every time. So.
Thing is, I think Dwayne and John Roxon were talking the other day about playing against a bounty hunter and their team not buying observer wards because they bought so many sentries and dust.
Yeah.
Wisely spending
in fact, you know what we failed to spot in yesterday's game was that Reason Gaming didn't buy a courier or wards at the start of the game.
Really?
Yeah, and Dredd said, you did realise, did you see we forgot to buy a courier? I was like, no. He was like, yeah. And we just didn't notice.
Oops.
Because you don't even look for it, you just assume it's going to be there, but yeah. We missed that somehow.
Like when you're playing, it's a bit more obvious because you're mid and you press your courier hotkey to try and get your bottle and like, hang on, guys, we don't have a courier.
Yep. So that is a banned Nature's Prophet.
Team ban.
Banned Storm Spirit. Still have yet to see which mid Ryan will be picking. Shadow Fiend is still out there. I know that's a favourite of his, but of course he can play a lot of heroes. Very good player. Invoker ban I think makes sense because he's just ridiculously strong at the moment.
He's versatile as well.
Yeah.
That's the main. That's the main point. He can be a team fighting hero in the early stages with Quas Wex. Tornado EMP is very devastating. Or he can go for that sort of solo pushing and then join team fights a little later on with the Quas Exort.
Bristleback. We've seen Bristleback quite a bit. Very strong hero. Keep him alive with the Abaddon, and of course he becomes then extremely strong as we saw in the last game.
And Crystal Maiden Aura very good for him as well.
Yeah.
Sustain that mana.
And Reason Gaming just thinking
10
now
seconds remaining.
about their 3rd pick.
Yeah, they've got a couple of routes to go.
5
Do they take
seconds
that support
remaining.
now and show their laning phase this early, or they take a mid for Ichigo?
Gyro
Interesting
instead.
gyrocopter.
You
Dire
could put
team
Gyro
pick.
mid, couldn't you? You could put Lifestealer in an aggressive lane, or you put Gyro in the aggressive tri lane and Lifestealer in the solo off against Bristle, I guess. I'm not sure how they do it, but
It's a weird one. Because when you see that Bristle back,
could be support Gyro, of course,
Yeah,
which
could-
is a
could be.
thing.
Radiant team
because when you
pick.
see
Smart.
Bristle back and Abaddon, you don't really want to go head to head with that, with a tri lane. So I don't know where they're going to put the Gyro and Lifestealer. We'll have to see what they think about that. But Slark, a very interesting pickup.
Yeah, we've seen him banned quite a bit,
Yeah.
and there's a Lion pickup for reasons.
This is
Dire
reason
team ban.
really going up against that Slark. They've had Slark played against them twice so far,
Mm.
and in both instances they've given Lion to Ichigo.
Interesting.
And that Lion pretty much dominates that Slark at mid.
Wow. I guess why? Why does
He
Lion dominate?
impales
10
and mana
seconds
drains, and
remaining.
then Slark has no mana to pounce or
Right,
dark pack,
right.
and you can just harass him off the lane.
5 seconds
Then Slark
remaining.
is forced to go and get runes to try and just stay in the
Yeah,
game.
of course.
And Lion goes for a quick
Reserve
blink,
time.
then starts roaming around the map. It's
Yeah.
a very, very old school Lion build. Now we see him play to support, and it's middling support. He's not that great.
He needs
Radiant
levels.
team
He
ban.
does need levels in farm for sure. Because once you get that finger up, I mean, look at the damage. 600 damage. That is a dead maiden, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
sorry, so here's a question for you. I mean, when Lion is quite a good counter to Abaddon as well, because
10 seconds
if you can get him
remaining.
low and then finish him with the finger, he doesn't get a chance to get borrowed time off, does
or
he?
Hex him
5
as well.
seconds remaining.
Also, you can Hex the Bristle back, and he won't have that passive anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So Lion is a good all-round pick here against Dwayne the John Roxon. So very well thought out by
Dire
Reason.
team pick.
So, I guess we're going to see either the safe lane carry, assuming they'll put Bristle in the off, or maybe an off laner in themselves. Maybe some of the could they pick Bounty? No, they're going to go for Shadow Fiend mid.
Radiant team
So they're going to push
pick.
either Slark or Bristle into the safe lane, Shadow Fiend mid, and that will be Ryan on the Shadow Fiend, a favorite hero of his. So he'll probably be up against. Well, who would you want to? You might have to rearrange things and push Lion into the support role now and put somebody else mid against Shadow Fiend.
No, Lion does decently against SF because he
Okay.
can. Basically, what you do with the SF is you try and stay in the fog on the top of the ramp. But Shadow Fiend,
10
Lion,
seconds
obviously with that
remaining.
impale, can target up.
Hmm.
But you've got to be very skilled and know where that SF
5
is at all
seconds
times.
remaining.
So we might see Reason go for an early ward up on the top of that ramp
Yeah,
to give
yeah.
vision up there.
Reserve time.
I'm still really curious to see about this Lifestealer and Gyrocopter. It's a
Mm.
mystery to me how they're going to lane this.
Dazzle.
Dazzle again.
Dire team pick.
I know they saw the Dazzle do very well in the last game. They were impressed, so I think they're thinking we can do that.
Well, we've seen Khan play Dazzle a couple. We've seen him play it once this tournament, I think, and I've seen him play it a couple of times previously. So it's definitely a hero
Yeah.
he's comfortable with.
I'm just going to grab some water. Excuse me.
Flank's a little dehydrated. These lights bearing down on us. And people are delaying picking their heroes. They're talking through strats how they're going to lane this. And our lovely production manager has turned off the lights, so we're not baking anymore.
10 seconds. 10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds remaining until people have to get into the game. Over on the Dire side, Supercell on that Bristleback, so that looks like it's an off-laner. But they could be having the two supports sit behind him, Whelp and Mute242 on the Maiden and Abaddon respectively. Bisa on that Slark, who usually plays their carry hero.
Yeah, he was a Morphling in a game earlier,
Yeah.
I think. So we've got Dread Knight on the next. We saw him do very well with him yesterday. Will be Antab on the next. Ichigo, as you said, on the Lion. Khan, as you said, on the Dazzle. And it will be Gronas on the Gyro.
Yeah, and then Rhyme on that Shadow Fiend going towards this solo mid as well, probably. And look at the signals he's doing. That's where he wants wards. He wants wards up on this high ground here. Somewhere along... I can't draw on the map. Okay, that's a
Can you
shame.
not? I can. Look at that. Whoop, 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 whoop.
I can draw on here, but I can't draw on the actual map
Really?
itself. I
Oh, it's
guess
because it's paused. Yeah, it's because it's paused. Which is weird. It even freezes it for the for the casters.
Yeah.
But
Surely it's an ideal time to draw things,
Yep.
and like, this is what you could do. But yeah, I think he wants a ward up on this high ground so he knows where that line is at all times, try and dodge the impales.
yep.
And a ward down here to protect the Bristle back, because I think it will be a solo offlane Bristle.
I don't know what the issue is, but I think the players are almost ready to get everything in position, and off we go. And there we go. So lanes. We're not going to find out just yet.
Well, Antab is on a life stealer, and like I said, he usually plays in that aggressive tri-lane role. So that looks like what they're going for. Then Grono's probably safe lane on the gyrocopter. But we'll just have to see.
Everyone get that?
Yeah, I got that lag. I got that spike, yeah. I've got 32 ping. It seems to just come and go randomly, doesn't it?
It's just, yeah, it's weird. But, you know, it's just because of the fireworks, I think. Really. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. So intensive, these fireworks.
So, I wonder if they're going to put
Dual lanes for the Dire.
Yeah, they could go. If they put Slark Maiden,
Yeah.
Dazzle, Abaddon Bristle with the Shadow Fiend mid, and then Reason could have Lifestealer next, I guess. Dazzle Gyro or
Well, Reason probably go for
and
the
Lion
tri-lane and then the Gyro on the safe lane.
yeah. But he'll be up against two. It won't be much fun for him being
Nope.
Abaddon Bristle.
I think they're...
But we've seen them. They rotate quite often. I
Yeah.
mean, you know.
I don't think they're quite expecting the laning setup that the Rock have got right now. They were probably expecting for the Bristleback to be tri-laning somewhere with the Slark on the solo. Signals again for the wards.
Yep, lots of pings. Not annoying at all.
Rhyme's telling him to get the hell over there and ward. He really does need that. They think there's going to be a safe lane tri-lane on bot, so they want to try and protect their
30
Bristle back
seconds
with
to
as much
battle.
vision as possible.
And the smoke has worn off.
Mute sitting very defensively there.
Yep.
He knows what Reason likes to do. He used to play with them, of course.
Yep.
He knows a lot of
And
their
they
warding
are.
spots in that. And this is pretty much typical Reason. We've seen them
Mhm.
pull this off against Infused.
See if they
The
can do
battle
this.
begins.
And there's another pause. We've had a crash. So, yeah, one of the recent players' computers has frozen and indeed fallen over.
Whelp found that funny,
Yep.
apparently. It was funny. He crashed.
Lamaup.
Lamaup. I'm not sure why Whelp has these sentries. I guess they're looking for
Yeah.
de-warding instantly on this pull camp. Maybe if there was an aggressive ward further up on the lane.
Also,
That's
what,
what-
maybe what you were saying about the Lion mid, if they can get if they can de-ward that ward mid, that makes it harder for him, easier for Shadow Fiend to set up some easy raises from above. And we're just hopefully going to get Gronos back into the game shortly. Gyrocopter has now DC'd as his computer has completely died.
Bye.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've been to a single LAN event where there hasn't been at least 5 technical issues per hour. Of some
Something goes
kind.
wrong.
My mouse isn't working, my headset stopped working, my phone is out of power and I need to call my girlfriend, that kind of stuff.
At home, everything stays in the same place. It doesn't move.
Yep, everybody knows their setup, they know how to talk sweetly to their computer to get it to work.
The moment you lift it up and put it on a train or in a car,
Yep.
throws a hissy
Interesting
fit.
to see Grona's setup. He has these massive ASC monitors, but he is playing on a postage stamp sized screen.
Have you seen his laptop? I was quite surprised. He's got quite a small laptop screen. That's what he's used to playing
He's used to playing on a teeny tiny screen, so he sets it to a teeny tiny screen.
Yep.
It's people get it's like when you get into a car, you get all the mirrors and all the seat, everything just how you like it.
Well, that's something I was talking 4 or 5 years ago when, like widescreen monitors started becoming a big thing, and they were, affordable for pretty much everyone. we were used to playing on CRT monitors, and playing heroes like Shadow Fiend and Mirana, where if you get your by 10 pixels, 20 pixels, then that can be the difference between a kill and not getting that massive kill. So switching monitors and having your resolution the way you want it, it's very exact. And even you were saying changing a mouse and not being able to click in that exact spot you want to.
Yep.
Looks like we are pretty much ready to get back underway. The real Mrs. Flags.
The real Mrs. Flags, not the Mrs. Flags that won an item in the last game.
And there go the fireworks, and everyone disconnects and crashes.
Don't say that. Don't even joke about it.
I'm sorry. Rhyme obviously prioritised here, has been pulled quite a bit of regen. Bought himself Wraithband and Salve. Has been pulled 2 tangos.
Shane always demands to be pulled massive amounts of regen as well.
I do when I know I'm going to be in an awful, awful lane. Ichigo going to go for the stun here. There's the Impale. Nate's coming in from behind. No!
Oh,
Dread misses!
Oh dear. He wanted it a little too much, I think.
He got the shakes. He saw the blood in his eyes.
Yep.
First blood on Ryan would have been so sweet for
That would have been a huge. A Shadow Fiend with the pause. Has auto attack on. Keybinds are dead for Bisa, he says. I'm not sure that's true. This is the Reason Infused game the other day was the same thing with constant pauses and resets. And
yeah, I'm not sure how that works, because as soon as you log into your Steam account, it should download from the cloud your settings for the keybinds, but maybe doesn't someone set up an auto exec or change the actual config of the game so it's automatically changing it back to their settings.
Yeah, I don't think the players should be allowed to change the auto exec at all.
Yeah.
They can do it in console if they need to. It doesn't take long.
And they're only playing one game up here. So
yeah, exactly.
This is what I'm talking about. Ichigo there, getting the stun on creeps and Rhyme.
Yeah.
Making it very difficult.
But Rhyme is a very good mid, although he's pretty low now.
Yeah.
If they'd waited there until now, that would have been a free kill on Rhyme. Salve's up. Ichigo 3-0, Rhyme 7-2.
And this was really good for them. With that gang on mid, they had time to spot out the lane, seize at the Bristleback spot. So they take the Nixon Dazzle down there. They have kill potential on the Bristle. They also force them off the lane.
Can't go, but this is trouble for Lifesteal at top.
Yep.
Pounce, lands. Whelp's going to come in now with the stun. This should be first blood. He rages. But there, Bisa drawing first blood, kills the solo Antab Lifestealer in the top lane. They left him and he died.
It was a pretty slow rage there from Antab. I was really surprised he didn't just pop that and try and run away.
I don't think he realized the depth of the problem until it was upon him.
Far too late.
There's a regen rune here. Rhyme waiting for his bottle to arrive on the courier. 12 and 4 already, which is a nice start.
Yeah, he's doing very well last hitting, and especially sustaining against that harassment from Ichigo, who doesn't have a bottle yet.
Supercell grabs it. Lots of raises coming down from Rhyme. And how many souls does he have already? He's got 14 souls. He already hits incredibly hard. 85 base attack. That's nice for a level 4 hero.
Dazzle onto the Bristleback. There's a stun as well. They don't have enough damage to take him down.
They do need to kill him. They do need to kill him to even things up.
Might be a kill for Bristle
here.
Yeah,
Khan in all kinds of trouble. Gets a heal off. He does get him. He will probably pay for it, but he did get a kill first.
Yeah.
But he got 218 gold for that. Nyx gets 236. So maybe not quite such an even exchange. And Bristle is out of the lane and will have to make his way back.
Yeah, and the thing is, Bristleback could be here now, getting this experience. That kill not worth it for him to die straight afterwards.
Yep. So, how's Nyx's farm? Well, he's got 3 last hits, which is not great. I'm not so sure that Chuck and Nantab into the offlane here was a great move. Bristle, he's going to be fine. I mean, he's got 9 last hits. He can always get with the quills, and he's tough to kill anyway. He picked up a kill. But solo Lifestealer, it's going to be very, very difficult for him. Up against the Slark, knowing that this Crystal Maiden can rotate out of the jungle at any moment, knowing that there's an Abaddon as well, it's going to be very difficult for him.
Oh,
Meanwhile, mid,
next up, there's the impale.
there's an impale that lands. There's the slow. Turns around and drops some raises. Auto attack as well. Doesn't manage kills. Clutch heal there from Dazzle. And they managed to take out Rhyme.
Mute almost manages to get his spell off, but not quite.
That was close. And that is now 2-2 in kills. Slark and Rhyme leading the way with farm. They're doing very well with the farm, actually. 25-13. Slark is just free farming here. And that is dangerous because Slark is a very powerful hero. If he snowballs, you are in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. But what's going to be key is his movement off this lane. How quickly he can rotate into a lane and make things happen. Because he doesn't scale very well with items. He scales very well with levels and dominating his opponents. Making sure that they don't tank up. Making sure he can sustain through these team fights. Because he is the guerrilla warrior of this game. He likes to get in and out of team fights.
Hit and run. He's the king of the Regoose. That's why I was always surprised that he wasn't like Shane's favorite hero. Shane loves the Regoose, right?
Well, Essence Shift is amazing for that.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, it's basically a free way to spot enemy wards. I mean, if you're not regenning, you know there's a ward there. They have vision, so I think, yeah. I mean, Shadowblade is ridiculously powerful on him. I'll be interested to see how Bisa builds Slark. I think Shadowblade is good on Slark. Rhyme has his boots. He's bottle crowing. How's he doing for farm? 35-18 for Slark and 34-7 for Rhyme. This is going to be a problem because the highest farm for Reason is Gyro, who's okay. He's doing fine, but
other than that,
yeah, other than that, they're not exactly crushing their lanes. Lifestealer still just 3 last hits. This is a miserable time for Antep. Only has boots, nowhere near really getting any items, and be curious to see how they pull this one out.
Yeah, and Rhyme moving into the jungle to farm up camps here, making the most of this just before they respawn as well, so he'll be able to get another big camp over here. Unfortunately, it's the Hellbears, a little bit more difficult to kill.
That Doug Clapper, man, look at the damage he does. But he's got 27 souls now, hits like a truck. So I'm intrigued, why did he go to the jungle just then?
He doesn't know where the support to bottom are. He knew that they smoked up because they had an observer ward there.
Right.
So he was a little bit wary of that gang. Ichigo has a double damage as well and finger.
So he just thought, I don't want to be here. I'll go get some juggling.
Pretty much the Lion could solo kill him at this point. He has to be very careful of that. 910 health. He's got the strength treads, he's got the Wraith Band just to try and sustain through that. But
doesn't want to lose all those precious souls.
Definitely
not. 50 last hits, 7 denies. I think this is farm for Rhyme is a real skill. He's very, very good at it.
Oh, here we go, top lane. Antap not using rage. There we go. Still held in by that tether from the pounce. Antap
tries to infest. And there you go. One of the best escapes in the game. Without a doubt.
How do they think he's in that one? Nope. Well, certainly not.
He picked the right creep.
Yeah, definitely.
So now I wonder. There's really no way they can kill the Bristle, and this is why I think if you chuck him in the safe, in the off lane, it's basically no problem for him at all. He can just stay there all day. Very hard to kill at the best of times. He's got quills. He's got his warpath up now. So you're not really going to get him. But Lifestealer, once that rage wears off, between them, Slark, CM, Abaddon, it's going to be very tough.
Also, he has killing potential on this lane, as we've seen. He's taking down that Dazzle. But the Gyrocopter as well is very squishy, 739 health. He can go balls deep against both of these heroes.
He really can. All it takes a couple of missteps and that's a kill. So
one thing he does have to take into account, though, is that Grave. If he gets a little bit too cocky and then Grave gets used on Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage can come out then.
I think Timbersaw would have been a better pick for this offlane, to be honest with you.
Oh, big raises there onto Ichigo from Rhyme. Is that Illusion Rune actually worth it?
Well, maybe they're thinking about getting on in here. Got Dread smoked up.
Look how hard Rhyme is tanking up.
Yeah.
Bracer as well.
I mean, he knows that if all he has to do is stay alive, get some raises off, and that's he's a huge amount of damage. What item do you rush first? Do you think he'll get something like a Shadowblade, or do you think he'll get something else?
He might go for a blink in this game. just to try and catch them out, because they have the Slug who can initiate with the Shadow Dance and Pounce, Bristleback to follow up. Then you can have the SF blink on top of that and not be too worried about, initiation upon himself.
Also, we know that Rhyme likes to get involved.
Yeah.
He likes to fight. He likes to make
Top
plays.
lane, Bisa going on Antab. Stealing a lot of stats from him.
God, yeah, look at that. -7 everything.
21 agility stolen.
Crazy. It's 80 last hits, 80 and 7 for Ryan.
Yeah, it's
very,
efficiency.
very
So
good.
bot lane, Bristleback. Not going to get caught by the cooldown. Big impale from Dread. There is the mana burn as well. Chrono's still going, but these stacks of the cool spray. Oh, down
my
goes
goodness.
Dread.
That was a punch and a half.
3-on-1, and the Bristleback comes out on top.
Just missed the cooldown, didn't have the damage. Supercell so hard to kill. And the thing is, the more they chuck
Top
at him,
lane. Oh, Antab and Ichigo finding a kill onto Slark. Welp might actually take down Ichigo here. A couple
Ichigo.
of right clicks.
one more, that should do it.
Yep.
Yeah, just. But Antab might be able to kill Welp. In comes Supercell with the rotation. The Impale misses, and the Infest doesn't catch Bristle. So Slark died, but as did Lion, and of course we saw Nyx die as well. But I'm going to get this tower maybe, or they're going to get the deny.
Oh,
the
that was a deny. I don't know who fortified it, but that was a deny for Kronos, definitely. Now SF gets that tower.
Everything is
see
going
that?
the Rock's way.
Kronos asking, why did you fortify that tower? And I'm wondering the same thing. Now with this line, it was a great kill on top on that slug, but he really doesn't want to die. He's close to that Blink Dagger, and he wants to get it within the next couple of minutes.
Yep.
He needs to start making that big impact. Beast on top lane, misses that pounce.
There's a lion around here.
And he is going for that Shadow Blade like you called.
Yeah, it's a good item. It is a good item. It's just because if you think about the amount of damage that Slark can do, it's just it becomes really very, very hard to kill. He's hard enough to kill. You get the Shadow Blade too. He just becomes this crazy damage dealer. Stealing attributes, of course.
Also allows you to get a definite pounce off if you're a little bit worried about too many units in the way. You can choose your target.
So Antab, he's got 17 last hits now. Desperately needs some farm, or he's not going to hit that mid game with any items. I mean, he's going to be lucky to get anything at this stage. What do you think? You get a basher here, try and get a bash off, and
no, he'll switch to the bot lane at some point. They'll try and drag that back, send Antab down to the bot lane, and start moving with their supports with the gyrocopter. Then they'll let Antab farm for them. Oh, here we go on to Antab, that lifestealer, taking a lot of damage from Bisa.
He's got Infest. He has Infest.
There's Dread with a nice impale. Can they take down one of these heroes? Mute very low.
They kill Mute. Bisa 2 gets his Q off. One more auto attack should do it.
No, he'd take 2 more.
He's
from
too
Dread.
quick. And there's a TP in, and Bisa lives, and he hides. Gets the regen. Gets the regen from that Shadow Amulet. That's nice.
Oh, mid lane. Ichigo trying to escape here. Rhyme doesn't have. He didn't want to try and go for that raise. And Dazzle, Graven TP. We've seen him do that so often. Very well played there by Khan.
Ichigo needs to be very careful here. Rhyme could get him with a raise.
Oh, wow.
Well played.
Very well played. And he's going for a BKB first, not a mobility item as we thought.
I guess you're up against the double threat of the Nyx and the Lion.
So big items now. Let's take a look at that gold graph, and that's going to be quite a big lead for Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's what, 6,000 gold at 13 minutes and 4,000 and climbing experience. So their lead, they're pretty much set here for the mid game.
They're playing really well.
Oh, definitely.
They're playing really well.
They're reacting well, but their lane setup was pretty much ideal for this. That Slark pick, they forced Reason into picking that line because they knew that they pick the line, then switch it up, take the SF, put that Slark onto that solo safe, or that safe lane with the Maiden behind him. Then that forces the Lion to go a completely different build, throw him off his game, and he's not playing the same as he was earlier. DD on Rhyme making short work over Roshan now. Dread just a little bit too slow. Oh,
very quick, and
there's
he is
the
going
ultimate
to
from
die.
Rhyme. doesn't get the stun.
Killing spree now for Rhyme. He's 3-1, 121 last hits at 13 minutes.
Bisa here with a Shadow Blade, pounds onto Ichigo. Ichigo going to have to use his stun, but no, Dark Pact.
Wow.
Well played.
Well played, Bisa.
That Dark Pact time could not have been better. Dispelling that stun. Mech almost done up on that Bristle back as well, so they've got a utility hero in him. And it comes back to what you were saying about this lifesteal. What can he do in this time to help his team?
I mean, generally speaking, whenever I've played lifestealer around the 20 to 25 minute mark, you suddenly become a god. And you charge around at people, you got your phase, drums, basher, maybe armlet, and you just go ham and kill everybody. Instead, he's way behind in farm.
Whelp trying to preempt the ending of the rage while he's TPing out, but gets a creep instead.
I mean, he's got 24 last hits. That's twice. That's only twice what the Maiden's got.
Yeah.
You compare that with Rhyme, who's got 139 already, and he's basically out of control. I mean, this is like Rhyme's favorite hero, I think.
He's got BKB and Helmet Dominator, Aegis Immortal as well.
Absolutely huge already with the Aegis. I mean, I think any team fight now, he's going to absolutely wreck people.
Grono's on this Gyrocopter looking towards a BKB of his own, but he went slightly greedy with the helm first. And Ichigo still no dagger. Nope, 900 away. He's been 900 away for the past 5 minutes, and now he's going to go down once again, I think.
Rhyme turned into a frog, decides to run back. Can they get him? I don't think they can catch him.
I don't think so.
With a rocket, maybe?
They might be able to kill him once, but he's going to
He
come back
doesn't
to
have
life.
a TP. He does have the Aegis.
And here comes the rocket ding.
Nothing. It's only a little level 1-er. Just a zoning rocket.
Yep.
Abaddon coming around the back to help Rhyme out. Give him a little bit of support.
Whelp just found the stacking creep for Gyrocopter. Kills it off so they can't stack anymore, but they know that there are lots of Ancients here.
Indeed. Rhyme actually trapped in 3 here. Bot cooldown coming down. There it is. Lots of damage, but he's going to get his ult off. No! They've popped the Aegis. And Abaddon dies as well. Rhyme will be back in 3 seconds. Support coming in. Is he going to get his ult away? He does. A ton of damage. Dread with a nicely timed stun, but Ichigo dies, and they will have to back off. Does he have a raise in him? Is Dread going to be able to dodge it? There goes the rocket, and Rhyme decides better. Thinks better of it and turns around. He's got Super Selmy just there in the woods, ready to jump if needs be. Meanwhile, mid is pushing up with the creeps. Steel Series. Steel Series. Because his name is so long. Khan there, just pushing mid out. But Rhyme showing that 4-1-0, 152 last hit to 16 minutes. That's not that far off, like perfect farm, really, is it?
He has done ridiculously well. And when you look at the Nyx as well, Arcane Boots 1, he's not done too badly, but the main thing is here, Ichigo still really desperate for that Blink Dagger.
He's been trying to get things off this courier for about 2 minutes, and somebody keeps controlling it away from him.
Hex on Beast at top, that Slark probably going to go down here. There's the ulti, 2 ultis expended, and stunned out of existence.
They needed that. So the score may only be 6-9, but in my opinion, the Rock are... Let's have a look at the graphs. Look at the XP, they're up by nearly 10k. Look at the gold, they're up by nearly 12k. 12k in 17 minutes, that is huge.
That's across the board, 10,000 net worth on the Shadow Fiend, 7.7k up on that Slark. Then Gyrocopter with 6.3k, only 1,000 ahead of the offlane solo Bristleback.
Yeah. Lifestealer, the same as Lion, and only about 600 more than the Maiden.
And then Khan with 770 gold.
Yeah. He's building an armlet now on the Lifestealer. He's got the helm, part of that. It's going to be very difficult for him to get back into this game in time to be relevant. Bisa just going straight at him. Lots of damage. He will rage and TP out. Ooh. But again, this is in essence that's a victory in itself. He's back in base. He's not farming. He's falling further behind.
Well, he keeps spending gold on TPs. That's it's probably about 300-400 gold that he spent on TPs now, just escaping from the Slark, trying to farm on this lane. So every time he goes and gets a little bit of gold, he has to give some back.
Look at this stack. They're saying, let's go get that.
Looks tasty.
Grono's TPing top. They're going to try and defend this tier 1 maybe. They fortified it. 5 minutes on Roche. What can they do here? Here's another TP. In goes Dread. He 500 gold. So, what do you think he's going to get a blink next?
I think so. They need some form of initiation.
Yeah,
really.
they desperately do.
That line just doesn't have it.
No, they desperately do. I mean, do you think you'd even get a blink on the line as well? He's saving up for it.
He's
got
been
nearly
saving
2 grand.
he needs to. They need to try and catch people out, get that hex off on someone as soon as possible.
Try, because that Slark, I mean, he's hard enough to catch. He can always pounce away. He can dark pact away. But if you've got 2 blinks with stuns, they've got essentially 3 bits of CC between 2 blink daggers. That might just be enough.
Let's take a look at this bot lane now. Rhyme in a little bit of trouble there. Is the initiation onto Rhyme. Lifesteal going to start ripping him to shreds. Rhyme BKB winds up his ultimate. Antab rages. Oh, the lifesteal from Rhyme keeping him alive. They're going to be able to take down Antab before he goes down.
And he's a
double kill for Rhyme.
Wow. Kit Cattington gets a prize for a Bud Girl. I trust that's not her.
No.
Rasta, Aaron. So one of the Rasta players gets a prize.
Yeah, he's sitting over there.
And Alex gets a prize as well. What is the prize? Is it just a random item?
Yeah.
I've never won one.
Ichigo goes down, and look at the gold he has. He was on about 2,050 gold, now he's back down to 1,870.
Yeah, just misery upon misery being heaped upon reason. Radiant's bottom tower goes down. Giving Ryan the Shadow Fiend has been a real problem for them.
Definitely.
And he now has 190 last hits. He is 6-1-0, and he is balling massively out of control.
Well, Dwayne The Rock Johnson had a really nice draft where if they had to, they could react to the lanes in any way they wanted. They could tri-lane, dual lane, they could off-lane a lot of their heroes. Whereas Reason, they put a lot of their focus on countering that Slark with the Lion solo mid pick. And Dwayne The John Roxon just came out and said, okay, well, here's a Shadow Fiend. How do you deal with this?
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to have that movement and dynamic. Oh, Bisa here onto Ichigo. That dagger is a long way off.
Yeah. But the Shallow Grave helping out, and Bisa will back off. So look at it, when Shadow Fiend walks, look at the swagger.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate swagger walk there.
Shoulders.
Yeah,
sway.
look at him. He is the man.
Where's the showcase for you when you need it? Oh, top lane, Whelp getting caught out by Spike Carapace, defending that Slark. But Reason back off. Antab might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the nasal boot, and he TP's out again.
Another TP. Poor Antab. 13k net worth for Ryan at 21 minutes. Magic stick dropped here.
Yep. Gem up on that Slark. I think Whelp bought that up. Yep. Owned by Whelp.
Lifestealer getting very close to his armlet, but at 21 minutes, he's just getting armlet. Compare that with Rhyme, who is BKB, Helm, Yasha, and 3.5k in the bank. What would you get next on him?
I don't know. He could go anything he wanted to do. He could finish off that Manta Star. He could go for
Satanic.
a crit. He could
He get Satanic?
Yeah, I guess he could. Not really this early. He'd want more damage first. Satanic isn't really worth it until you've got 250, 300 damage.
He does do 250 damage. Like, he has 36 souls. He does 225, I think he does.
He'd like a crit as well.
Yeah. Beast up. Got the rocket on him. He doesn't have mana for lead, and he gets fingered. Ichigo says, mine.
That was a bad move.
I'm not sure quite what happened there.
He was waiting up here for a long, long time, saying let's dive this tower. His team backed off all the way into the jungle. Now they've moved down to the bot lane. He wanted mana from his team, but there's no one with arcanes coming along this way. And then he decided to go 1 versus 5, apparently.
Yeah, I think he got the mana drain from Lion is pretty big on Slark, actually. Cuts down, and also it would be good against Bristle. They just needed the Lion to get a head start, and unfortunately he's 2-5.
23 minutes in, gets his Blink Dagger.
Yeah. The problem is when he's up against a really good Shadow Fiend like Rhyme, it's tough to get your farm, and it's not looking great for Reason. 236 last hits for Rhyme.
It just keeps on going up.
Yeah, 10 per minute. Wait, no, that's not 10 per minute. I can't add up. 23 minutes, 236. That is 10 per minute. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Usually the counter you use is like in every 10 minutes you look for sort of 100 CS, and that's the marker where it's like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You've done well.
I played a game with Cinderin one time where he had 200 CS at 20 minutes and bought a rapier on Luna and just ran down mid and won the game for us.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it was impressive. Because the other team, of course, they had nothing. Because he was just like so far ahead. It was just like a pub game, in sort of the potato bracket in which I dwell. And they were like, "What the hell is this?
Why is Cinder in here? Must be fake.
Why does he have a rapier?"
What is this glorious item?
But I remember I played a game with Wagger one time where he played Brood and took Brood mid, and managed to farm up and lose 2 rapiers in not much time at all. And this will be an Aegis for Rhyme. He's got his Daedalus now. What would you get? Yeah, he's going to get rid of the bottle, grab the Aegis, and just go and probably win the game, I guess.
Just go and crit people to death. Because with that BKB, he doesn't have to be afraid of any stuns whatsoever. Carapace, Impale, Gyrocopter's ult does slow through BKB.
While this DD is up, he just wants to punch.
Yeah.
Let me at him.
Throw punches at people. Throw red, black balls of punch.
Yep. He's terrifying.
Antab's still farming top lane like it has been all game long. Has his armlet completed.
Says Ryan. I wonder what that means.
Lion denied a tower.
Yeah. So meanwhile, top. Antab and Dread having to buy back. Sorry, to TP back. They can't go on. Rhyme has still got his BKB, still got the Aegis. Call down. Will catch Rhyme, who's frogged as well, but he doesn't really give a hoot.
Just keeps hitting that tier 3
punch
tower.
That tower down.
There goes the pounce on Khan.
BKB from Gronos,
oh,
but
he
he
melted completely.
Antab is taking a lot of damage from Rhyme too. Lion tries to finger, but no.
Mrs. Flex won an item again.
Well done, Mrs. F.
That's
GG
game over. 25 minutes, and Dwayne the John Roxon take out Reason Gaming.
Reason Gaming knocked down to the lower bracket, where they will face the winner of Rasta Gaming and whoever won between So Legit and
Fureur.
Fureur. So we will give you the result of that, and we will see